Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Polish tier 6 medium tank and the new medium tank line, the B.U.G.I or the Bugi. And it's a tank that I've really enjoyed. I've really enjoyed this entire new line of the Polish mediums. They've been really good to play and it's just been a blast, the whole thing. If you want to catch how I ground through the tier 5, 6 and 7, and I streamed for like 5 hours on release day, and we ground all the way through to the tier 7 and up till about 30k away from the tier 8. So you can get to see how that grind was like generally just by watching that. It is 5 hours, obviously you're not going to be able to watch all of it, but I've cut it down into sections so you can think, oh, how did that tank go for a bit? Stock, because we played them fully stock, up to being fully upgraded, so you can see it through that way. Now, I ran the same crew all the way up the line, so I'll just go through that crew, and it is one that I never bothered to change. You could probably change out one or two of the perks, but it just worked for me and it worked fine. So I ran Born Leader, Rapid Loading, Trap Mechanics, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Camouflage Expertise, Muffled Shot, Steady Aim and Run and Gun. Now you could quite easily, because these guns aren't the most accurate all the way up the line, you could quite easily drop the Muffled Shot and run Snapshot, for instance, just to make the gun better when you turn the turret, all that sort of thing, especially when you use the 100mm gun on a tank like this or the next tank. That Snapshot is a lot more helpful, but I generally couldn't be bothered to change the crew. The crew came from somewhere that I can't remember how or why I set it up like that, and I just didn't want to spend the 90 gold because being cheap. And to be honest, it's actually worked really well, and I think the Muffled Shot has helped me in a lot of situations. So it's also viable, it's just how you want it, how you prefer it. If you're still not quite happy with the gun handling, if you ran that sort of setup, then switch out the Muffled Shot and put the Snapshot perk on. Because, yeah, that's just the best way. And in terms of equipment, I ran Rammer, Vents and Optics, and that's because Rammer, obviously you want your DPM to be 10% better always. The Vents improve everything about the tank by like 5%. It's something you just want. It helps all the time, and if you can run it with the Optics as well to buff your view range as high as possible, then that's great, because obviously you really want your view range to be as high as possible in every tank you can, because max view range on a tank that you can, or the max view range you can get on a tank possibly, always helps you to then beat being blind, basically. So, we're in the Bugi, and this game is actually stock, because we've got the 90mm, which is one of the gun options, because this tank has two different options of how you can play this tank. One with the 90mm, one with the 100mm, and this is stock. So we've actually got the stock turret and the 90mm, because the top turret with the 90mm makes the gun longer. And I really liked both guns, because I think I'd end up using the 100mm because it fits me and it's higher alpha and memes. Yeah, memes. So I'll always use the 100mm, but this 90mm is really consistent and it's very nice. Now it actually has a worse rate of fire than the 100mm, so you want to bear that in mind. But the penetration at 156 on the standard AP round and the 198 on the premium round is really nice. Especially for tier 6, it means you can deal with a lot of the tanks you'll ever face. 198 is enough to face most of the tier 8s you'll fight against. You'll only really struggle with some of the super heavy tanks, and the accuracy of the gun generally feels quite nice. Overall, the tank is really nice with this 90mm. But like I say, that's the good thing about this Polish line, because it's the same as the CS44. It's got options. You can decide, you know what, I don't like this 90mm. I like the higher alpha of the 100mm, which I'll go into when we see that replay. And I prefer to use that gun. But then you might play the 100mm and go, oh, this is derpy, I don't really like this. You know what, I prefer the more reliable gun, and that is the 90mm. So, you know, it's all your choice. So you see with this on Mali, we took the aggressive position at D6, we managed to farm a lot of damage and assistance as well. Crucially, we've got 4k combined, 2.2k assist with 2k damage. We managed to get loads from that position. That position doesn't always work on Mali Winter, because Mali Winter's poo, and people can just yellow across rivers, which is now ice. I really prefer the original Mali to this Mali just so much, because people go to silly places and then just sit there, like, just on the ice, or they just YOLO straight across the middle of the map on the ice, where they wouldn't have been able to go with Mally, and they actually have to play normally. And did you see that shot? That shot was filth. That was a beautiful shot. So yeah, the Bugi with the 90 mil is pretty damn nice, and I quite like the Bugi. I've seen some people not like it. I kind of liked it. So we've got 5 kills, 2.7k damage, 2.2k assist, ace tanker, high caliber, Confederate, sniper medal, because you know the gun is pretty decent for accuracy, 2k base, and yeah, the 90 mil is a very viable gun, and it's just useful all round. And I really enjoyed the tank. I enjoyed the grind. It was fun. It's just, to be fair, it's just like the rest of the line's been for me, where I've just really enjoyed it. So this is the second game with the 100mm. Now that's got 53 pen on the HE, and weirdly, it's got 168 pen on an APCR round as its second round, which is a premium round, and it only gets those 2 choices of rounds for the tank. It's pretty odd. It's an odd thing, but yeah, this gun is definitely the more pay-to-win gun, because the HE on it is really nice for a HE gun. It's really good against light tanks. They really do suffer when you pen them with the HE. But the 168 pen on the APCR, which is the premium round, is just damn filthy. It's pure filth. You do significant damage to people so much. It's really good and I love it. It's dirty. But the thing is, this gun is one of those that when you're seeing +2 a lot, it's not that great, because with the HE you're not always going to do that much to the tier 8s, and with the APCR against quite a few of them you're going to struggle to pen them, and that is a bit of a problem. And I think Randy summed it up perfectly, that this is probably the +1 -1 gun, and the 90mm is more reliable to use normal matchmaking. But it's me, so I'll use this gun no matter what anyway. And like I say, it's pretty filthy. So you get to pen tanks like this VK here for a lovely whopping 300 odd damage. I mean, I think the alpha on this HE is 410, which is just delightful if you pen people. It's really, really nice. Now in this game on Highway, we are really bottom tier. It's actually tier 8, and we're going to have a decent game with it. So we're actually going to show what this gun can do when it's bottom tier, especially when the enemy team plays like idiots, which is nice. So we've loaded APCR, we throw a shell blind towards where that Tiger 2 was spotted. It pens, luckily for us, because we get the enemy damage in the top corner. And we're going to move up, but we're not going to move up straight towards where that Tiger 2 is. We're going to sort of strafe our run, and we're going to pull in on this left-hand side of the map so that we can hopefully tuck into the ridge lines as we get across. Now we get spotted up by this Iron Rain, which is really kind of annoying, but we managed to snap a shot into him before he gets a shot into us, and then we got shot up by an SU-152 that's over there. Now we actually hit a shot on the move there. It doesn't always do it with this gun because it is kind of derpy, but obviously with the crew skills you can make it sort of negligible with its derp, and it makes it usable. Generally it's really nice to use. And like I say, it's pretty filthy when you're damaging tier 8s for 300 odd. And if you get the squishy tier 8, so you come against the CDC and you load the HE, you're going to be doing like 410 from a tier 6 medium tank with average mobility. It's very average mobility, and don't go backwards. My God, the backwards speed is terrible. But it's got good gun depression, and like I say, a great rate of fire. Like the rate of fire for this for 300 alpha is like 6.8 seconds, something like that, and that is really nice, and that's generally really enjoyable. So we're trying to find some shots on this ridge line. We get a shot with the APCR into the side of that Bugi, which is nice for 325. It's a roll you're not going to see often when you have a 300 average damage. Juicy. But you see, I may only have 507 hit points here, but I'm confident, because if I pen these guys, they're going to feel it, like, so much. Now, this Tiger 2's thinking of poking over. I want to get a shot into his lower plate. Unfortunately, the shell goes to the left because I didn't really truly aim it, and ricochets off his upper plate. I either had to hit his lower plate or his side there to pen him. And as we're coming along, we get spots on this Ariete. We've loaded HE because there's a Bugi, and we want the HE to pen this guy. But unfortunately, our Dragon wrecks him, And now there's only one tank left, and it's the Ariete. I'm going to try and find a shot on this Ariete. I'm hoping to get it. Unfortunately, we missed that one. He's running around, and it's like, you know what? I might shoot that building down, but no. We managed to snap that shot into the back of his tank, finish him off, and we finished the game with a nice amount of damage, and a nice game for this tank bottom tier. So we finished with 3 kills, 2.2k damage, 534 assistance. Just about made 10k, final fair amount premium. Ace tank of the Oskins medal for killing 3 tanks 2 tiers higher. 1500 base XP. Like I say, the Bugi has been quite a nice grind. I've really enjoyed the whole Polish line as a general, and this is the first video in the set that has come to look at the whole line. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success!